The Interlink Stakes, a listed event for the 3-year-olds over 1,400 metres. We'll have more from Flemington in a moment. But we're up with Brett Prebble.
Later on today, which you would have liked to have had as good a book of ride on day one, Brady. But talking about Sweet Corn here, here's a horse that I said to Lee before, and I suppose as people have seen her at Flemington the last 3 starts, just gritty, tough, and whatever you ask her, she does respond.
Yeah, just always finds the gear when you ask her, and very competitive. She got to the front, thought her job was done today, and I just let her roll out to be competitive with the other horse alongside her. Dug again, give me a neck, and honest as they come.
Okay, that's a win, another one for you. Just tell me at the moment, what's going through your mind when you look at a good book of rides like you've got today? How's the confidence?
Oh, it's got to be 110% now, doesn't it? And yeah, I thought they're 2 nice rides, but I've got better ones are coming.
Good luck, Marty.
Thanks.
You keep knocking on the door, eventually we'll open.
Brett Prebble, he dominated this carnival in 1999, winning a number of group events, including the Queen Elizabeth, which he won on Zerpua. The New South Wales first 4 at Flemington, 2159, $4,991.50. Now let's have a look at the 9. Now have a look at this. Have a look at your screens, because Alfie Matthews is sporting silks today for the Emirates Jockeys, the Legends Jockeys Challenge, and we are going to show that to you live this afternoon at 2:05. And look at Alfie, he's absolutely loving it. And he's going to be safe out there too. He's got the safety vest on, he's got his weight right, and he's looking terrific there in the silks. So watch out for the light blue. They're the Alf Matthews colours in the Legends Challenge. All right, to Randwick, here is Ron Dufficy with the late mail.
2-year-old fillies here do battle in race 3, numbers 815.
Third race at Randwick, and Jolie, number 1, a filly by Armadale, trained by Jack Denham, is the favourite. It's out to $2, so black figures, heavily supported peppercorns. Now, George Scamone is the rider for Jolie, number 1.
The Pussycat going into the stalls, and we've got Jolie to move up. Georgie Scamone on Jolie for Jack Denham. And, of course, last start, Jolie won at Rose Hill. Beat Chocky, and third was Flying Firebird, who came out to win during the week at Flemington. Peppercorns by Armadale, racing with a piece of tape just below the hock on the offside, as Jolie's just bailing up momentarily, but they've got her in now. And Scirocco, one of 3 runners that Graham Rogerson has in the event, will start from gate 11, the outside. Graham also has Clarity and the Cape Dignity engaged. As Scirocco settles in the stalls, and we're ready for a start. 1,000 metres, the race for 2-year-old fillies. Off this time, Jolie and Peppercorns, the 2 smartest away. Scirocco out pretty well with Wizard Princess and just necking Faster Pussycat, and then a gap to Rosaceous, followed by Cape Dignity, a length and a half to Interblast and Marimba Bell, and immediately Clary drops out last. They head down past the 700, and the favourite across onto the rail, Jolie. A length and a half Faster Pussycat, third is just necking, 2.5 to Rosaceous, a length and a half Cape Dignity, followed by Wizard Princess. Peppercorns, after a good jump, has drifted right back from Marimba Bell, and then comes Clarity and Scirocco around the corner and up the rise, and Jolie nicely clear. Nearly 2 lengths on Faster Pussycat, followed by Rosaceous, just necking on the inside, and then comes Peppercorn starting to warm up, but still about 4 or 5 lengths from Jolie, who's shaken up. 100 to go. Jolie 2.5 lengths on Peppercorns, who's racing home very well. Jolie is still in front of Peppercorns, and Jolie will win it. Jolie beat Peppercorns, third Rosaceous. Wide out was Cape Dignity, followed by Clarity, Marimba Bell just necking, and then Scirocco. Then came at the head of the others, and that was Interblast. Second last was Wizard Princess, and Faster Pussycat dropped out and finished last. Jolie has been able to score from Peppercorns and Rosaceous, but a big run by the runner-up. Very, very good performance. She jumped okay, but has no early dash. But over the concluding stages, she took so much ground off the favourite and winner. and she's certainly going to be one to follow. But Jolie did a good job, started from the wide gate like the runner-up, but had superior speed to get across onto the rails, kicked clear on top of the rise, and has had a big enough break to hold out Peppercorns. The punter's right on target, the favourite beating the second pick. The one that was specced in the market showed a bit of dash, and that was Faster Pussycat, but showed no heart really in the last 100 metres. 1, 8, 9 and 2 are official placing. Jolie by Armadale from Bonnie Miss, trained by Jack Denham and ridden by Georgie Scamoni. Number 8 is second. Peppercorns, a filly by Strategic from Pepperpot. John Hawkes, Rod Quinner, number 9. The third, Rosaceous. Nice debut by General Nadia Marancho Rose. Robbie Pearce here. Hugh Bowman, 2 ran fourth and got home nicely. Wide out, Cape Dignity. The official totes, number 1 paid 2.10 and 1.30. Number 8 paid 160 and number 9 260. The Quinella 360, Exacta 460. Trifecta 34.50 and the first 4 on 1892, $391.70.
They went to the barrier stalls as they're doing now. We're going with 5 on top, Buffed. It is the value one. The 7's pretty short. The 5 dictated the lead at Moonee Valley last time. Looks to be right on the pace, if not the leader in this race. But gee, it certainly has got the capabilities that it has improved in fitness levels out of that Moonee Valley win. And to my eye, we'll put it on.
Just how good he is today. It's Town Player in the pink colour, Stephen King. Runners circling behind the line and about to be called up here. So solid favourite recapitalised. 250 on the tote is the same price on track. Buffed would hold second favouritism, just slightly on the easy side. And then Fixated. Gee, it was a big run last start. Never got on the track at Rosehill. And moving in, quite astute. Goes up. Town Player is set. Recapitalise about to come along. Luke Curry on board the favourite for David Hall. Going up, Darren Beedman on Happy Strike is ready, and now Recapitalise comes up. Next along will be Rathlin. Now Fixated coming up for Darren Gauci. Gets out to 1400 for the first time. Transact, runner-up in 3 lifetime starts, is set. Enterprise Man comes up for Danny Nikolic. He won this a couple of years ago on Chong Chong. Catboy coming up for Noel Kello. Buffed is ready. Last couple to get set now. About to break at the 1400. They're off now. Buffed missed the start. He's out slowly, missed it by 2 or 3. Fixated, bounded out of the gates and set up a length in the early stages. Catboy not letting him get away though. Moves up into second placing. The speed is generous and Recapitalise settles third on the outside of Happy Strike. Flash in the Pan is racing wide in 5th placing, and they're followed by Quite Astute. Next, Transact out wide from Enterprise Man in the centre. About 3 lengths away in the field then came Rathlin on the inside of Town Player, and then Red Hot Pepper and Buffed last after missing the jump. As they came up the side, Fixated for the Gouch leading narrowly from Flash in the Pan, striding around the outside wide, and Catboy is third. 1.5 further back in the field, Transact wide around Recapitalise Happy Strike. 2 lengths behind these, Quite Astute, Town Player, Enterprise Man under pressure, and they were followed by Red Hot Pepper, Buffed and Rathlin on the rails. Entering the straight, Fixated leading from Flash in the Pan. Transact made a line of 3. Happy Strike, Catboy behind them, and Recapitalises wider out. Hasn't been asked for the big run yet by Curry, and next is Buffed, who's starting to work home at the 300. Fixated, joined by Transact, Flash in the Pan. Recapitalise about to hit the go button now, pulls the whip, and the big fella starting to wind up. Fixated got a second wind at the 100-metre mark. He's a neck in front of Recapitalise. He's really got to dig in. Fixated by a head. Recapitalise drives, didn't get there. Fixated a nose. Recapitalise second, third, maybe Buffed, a big run, or Transact, and then Flash in the Pan, followed by Rathlin, and then came Red Hot Pepper. Happy Strike, Town Player, Catboy Weekend, and then Enterprise Man, and Quite Astute is last of all.
And Greg was spot on with his call. Fixated, number 4, did find something when tackled by Recapitalise in the last little bit, and he's won by a narrow margin. Fixated, number 4, ridden by Darren Gauci, trained by John Hooks. Down from the Sydney stable, Fixated, first run at Flemington today. As we see, he actually got his head in front, or his nose in front, I reckon. Recapitalise on the outside. but Fixated didn't give in and fought on and has beaten him by a nose. But I reckon looking at that overhead shot, he got his nose in front, recapitalise at 1 point. Buffed number 5 third, the running double, 2 and 4 pace, $44.10. And the New South Wales first four, 475.11. Transact was fourth, $729.70. That's the fourth at Flemington. Coming through from New Zealand, race 8 in 6 minutes. Kanui Bill, Tattletale, Rapid Key and Danette. 8:17.12.3 for the ratings. Group 1 level, the 1,000 guineas for the fillies over 1,600 metres. And looking through the New Zealand prices to see what they're keen on. Best of that first bunch, Kanui Bell, number 8, Leith Innes's mount. Some good fillies here. Rapid K, number 12 at $5.10 as well in commission. And we go right through to number 19, but Tattletale's the favourite. Number 17, $2.35 for the 1,000 guineas. Now, racing at Flemington.
And it's wonderful to see Miracle Malcolm Johnson here for the Legends race today. How's the form, son?
Pretty good, Alf. Actually, I've had a good week. It's hard putting up with them pommies, but that Weaver is driving me nuts. But we've had a great week. I'm looking forward to it, actually.
Malcolm, you do look very fit.
Yeah, looks can be very deceiving at times. I'm not as fit as you, Alf. I haven't been riding as many work as what you have over the last month, I've been told. But I've been riding, my preparation's a little bit better this year.
Yeah, well, I'm just hoping I can hang on appropriately over the concluding stages. Hey, listen, great to catch up with you and ride well.
Thanks, champ. Just ride safe. That's the main thing. Thanks, buddy. Thank you.
There he is, Malcolm Johnson, and, well, Miracle Mal. He'll ride well.
He sure will. He certainly did when he was riding. And we will show you that race, the Legends Challenge, coming up soon at Flemington. Now, race 8 New Zealand, they are at the gates. Tattletale, number 17, a filly trained by Graham Rogerson. She's very smart. She's had 4 starts for 4 wins over there in New Zealand. Her last 2 victories have been in Group 3 events over 1,200 and 1,400. Today she's up to 1,600 for the first time, but she's pretty good. Tattletale, Michael Walker takes the ride. One race coming up, the Riccarton 1,000 guineas for the 3-year-old fillies, and the Graham Rogerson trained Tattletale is all the rage at $1.90 in New South Wales, but she's $2.25 in New Zealand. Let's head across to Riccarton for their main race of the day.
Hot Hill comes down. Kelly Davidson. Had a chat to Kelly. I thought she might not have ridden here before, but she has. She rode in an apprentice jockeys championship race down here and ran second in it about 3 or 4 years ago. 3 years ago anyway. She probably hasn't been riding for 4 years, but anyway, she's down here to ride for the one ride today and hope that she can go home rewarded. Her hidden talent, another horse that well, Tony Allen would love to team up with, but we'll know shortly. And they're just starting to line up, so I'll hand it back to you until we're ready for it, Andre.
Hick Anderton made a great comment. Of course, he's got a 2-pronged attack to the race with Personal Column and the Persuader, and he said, even I aren't cheeky to ask for above to win this race. That's how much esteem he holds the race into. But, of course, these fillies, this is a big ask for his 2-pronged attack this afternoon.
Look, I know he's had a big opinion for a long, long time about Personal Column. I know it's long on the odds at 53 and 10, but he said that this horse could really go to high heights once it steps up over ground. It's had its one start over 1,600 metres at its last start. I know it only ran 7th, but it's been up against the likes of King's Chapel and Rapid K in the past and acquitted itself well. So, yeah, it'll only improve on its last start effort.
Maximum points up for grabs in the New Zealand Bloodstock Filly of the Year series. Tattletale leads with 12, Sarah V with 4, Danette 3 and Rapid K 3, and up for grabs 12 for first, 7 for second, 3 points for third. The running of our feature, the $275,000 New Zealand Bloodstock 1,000 guineas. Here's Rion.
Just one to come in. It'll be Spur Bird races with the loading blanket and being brought forward now on the field of classy fillies, all set and ready to run. Starter has them set. The Guineas field settled and about to jump. The New Zealand Bloodstock 1,000 guineas, they're out from the gate, and Tattletale flew it.
Went straight to the lead, is being taken on by Her Hidden Talent, Personal Column. Kainui Bell going up wide out on the track, and right with them Sarah Little. Unearths in the first half a dozen. Classic Claire is right with those with FD1. Personal Column back in the inside and tight quarters, and Spurbird's on its back. Also with not a lot of room. They were followed a bit further back in the field. Getting back is the Persuader and Rapid K, and Eternal Melody's gone to the tail of the Guineas field. So they race their way past the 1,000 metres on the far side, and Michael Walker has the favourite Tattletale in front by a length and a quarter. Sarah Little is running second, followed then by Her Hidden Talent. Classic Claire the outside, just between those Unearthed, followed by Kainui Bell in the pink colours. Cat Scan follows that. Personal Columns on the inner, and they were followed by Spurbird a bit further back to Salsa and Danette. They're well back, and so's Rapid K. Eternal Melody near the tail of the field, and back with that is the Persuader as they race their way round the turn, and also Hot L round the bend for home. 500 metres to run, and the New Zealand Bloodstock 1,000 guineas about to line up for the run in, and going up Kainui Bell and Tattletale being pushed along, and Michael Walker gets to work on the little filly, and she responds nicely, and right with it Kainui Bell and Salsa, and Cat Scan down the outside. Further in Her Hidden Talent and Sarah Little. Rapid K far too far back. Tattletale, she's absolutely brilliant, and she's given her very best, and she's got home to win it. Tattletale, and Michael Walker has really enjoyed this success. Tattletale has beaten Kainui Bell, and then they're about 3 to 4 lengths in front of Unearthed, has done best of the Southerners. Next across was Personal Column, Classic Claire, Eternal Melody made up a stretch in the straight, and they were followed after those by Her Hidden Talent and Cat Scan. Next across was Salsa, then came FD1 and Rapid K, followed by Danette, and further back in the race when they crossed the line was Sarah Little. The Persuader followed home then by Hot L, and at the back when they pull up is Spurbird. What a brilliant filly this is. She's only tiny, but she's all heart, and she was being worried out of it at the top of the straight and halfway down the straight by Kainui Bell, but she gave plenty. She dug deep, and those little legs went to the line and have got her in front by a good neck at the end. So Tattletale has continued on her winning way, and she secured this Group 1 prestigious New Zealand Bloodstock 1,000 guineas in wonderful fashion.
She's pretty good. I'd say we'll be seeing her in Australia. Probably not until the autumn of next year, but she might even be an Oaks type. Tattletale, 5 starts for 5 wins. A filly by Faltat out of Defensive Lady, trained by Graham Rogerson, and I reckon he'll be pretty keen to get her over to Australia eventually. 17, 8 and 18. He hasn't rushed up. Here's Pam O'Neill being introduced to the crowd at Flemington as they introduce the riders for the Emirates Airlines Legends Jockeys Challenge. And there certainly are some legends there, including Cassius Musson from all the way from Texas in the USA. And here's another of the Aussies, Malcolm Johnson, sporting the gold silks today. Very happy to be there today too. Malcolm Johnson. And here's Alfie. Looks like they might have saved the best till last. Alfie Matthews is getting a very good reception from the crowd there, and good luck. He's carrying the hopes of Sky Channel and Sky Racing this afternoon in the Legends Jockeys Challenge. We are going to show you that race. He's riding a horse called Horrocks, I believe, in the challenge this afternoon, but we'll have more on that one shortly. We'll bring our punters up to date with Randwick. Race 4's coming up in 6 minutes. Conquest at 280 ahead of Chainsaw Charlie. And here's Ron Dufficy with the late mail. Ortelli, the trainer of Conquest.
Gary, Conquest is a horse who's really hit his straps this preparation. He broke through for a good win at Wyong and then backed that up with a win at Canterbury last start. Can he make it the hat trick today?
I hope so. Last start he was probably... It's probably the wrong thing to say, but I thought he was a little disappointing in winning last start. I thought he'd step up to the 1900 and really put it together, but he just fell in again. But if you go through his record, he's won 4 races and he hasn't won by further than neck yet. So maybe he's just one of them heart attack types, you know. So it's a big step up today to this class, and you know. But it's a race I've sort of set him for. Randwick track will suit him down the ground.
Yeah, exactly. Canterbury, obviously a different track to here, and he's got a big long straight here to make up plenty of ground, which is what he needs to do. It takes him a while to wind up.
That's right. He's about 17 odd hands high. He's a massive horse, and Canterbury probably wasn't the right track, but this is the acid test today for him.
What about Mimsicle today?
Mimsicle, one of the most honest little fillies you'll ever come across. Got a lot of weight today, 57.5 is a bit of a worry. If I'd have known she was going to get that sort of weight, I would have claimed, but unfortunately, well, hopefully, fortunately, I booked Huey Bowman. You know, he's probably the best rider here today, no doubt, and he'll know how to get her home.
Marwin Gold resumes here this afternoon, and Ronnie Stewart, who's indentured to you, is on board today, and he's drawn the inside gate.
Yeah, I think this is the first time in probably 5 preparations that he's actually drawn an inside barrier first up. I think a lot of people have said he hasn't had a good record first up, but a lot of the time it's been because he's drawn wide and he's a speed horse. If you draw wide horses first up, they'll bring him unstuck. So today he gets a chance from the one alley, and you know, I think that he's going to be he's going to be there right up to the last 50 metres anyway.
He's got a great record here at Randwick too, winning 4 from 5.
Yeah, I was sort of worried about his record being, you know, that he's not that flash first up and ruining his record at Randwick today. But you know, he's done nothing but improve since he trialled the other day, and he's just been a marvellous horse to us.
And later on, Architrave, a horse that's promised a bit, but he hasn't quite been able to put it together on the track.
Yeah, he's a tricky little horse, you know. He's got to be ridden to the second, you know. And with 18 runners in the race, we're going to get a genuine speed on today. And if you know, if the back markers can come into play, as they usually do here late in the day at Randwick, the swoopers can get home, and you know, he can do that. So we're not leaving him entirely out of it, but you know, it's a tough race for him.
The stable's been in good form, and I doubt you'll walk away from here today winless. What's your best winning chance then?
Hopefully, I thought I had 2 good chances today. I thought Conquest and Mimsicle were my best chances today, so more than likely the other 2 will win for sure now.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. Gary Portelli, currently ranked 3rd on the Sydney Trainers Premiership, and he's hoping to keep the form of the stable intact and hoping for a double.
He sure has started this season in great style. Gary Port by year. Obviously, our priority is with Randwick. That's a race that punters are betting on. So we'll be taking that one live, and should the Legends Challenge at Flemington jump during this race at Randwick, we'll record it and bring you a replay when we can, when time allows. So at Randwick, they're about to start moving them in. Conquest at 3:30 is the favourite, and there he is. He'll be the first one to go in. He drew barrier 1. Here's Ian for the Honda Plate, race 4.
Interesting race, Matt, and the favourite, currently number 5 at $3.30. That is Conquest. He's a little longer than that on track. He got out a bit, but he's just coming in now. The late money has been for number 5 in the betting ring, Conquest. Second pick in the ring is 2 Chainsaw Charlie, and number 7 Institution as the 3rd favourite. That's the on-track news. You've had the Tate information as they load up here at the 2,000 metres. Jolie won the previous. Number 1 Georgie Scamoni beat 8 Peppercorns, 9 Rosaceous, and 2 Cape Dignity. So race 4. This is the Honda MDX Plate. Transitional, 2,000 metres, and a few to move in. Quadri, an interesting runner. Quadri racing with a tape on his off hind leg. Quadri is Chris Linkson with us, just racing with his tape just below the hock on the offside, having his 119th start today, Quadri. And he raced at Newcastle last weekend, over 1,200. Start prior to that was 2,000 metres at Rose Hill. 119th start he's having today. And he's an 8-year-old. He's not the oldest horse in the race. Kingston Shores has that honour. He's a 10-year-old Kingston Shores, and he's having his 89th start today. Now waiting for Kingston Shores to come up, and also Institution. Starter going across towards his stand as Kingston Shores is about to move up. Conquest, the favourite, the inside runner, 3:30 at the moment in New South Wales, looking for the hat-trick following wins at Canterbury and Wyong. And you'd think, being a big lump of horse, he'd appreciate this big roomy track. Now up goes Constitution. Field of 9 running over the 2,000 metres, and they're all there. They're racing, And one of the best out was Conquest from the inside. Chainsaw Charlie and Institution jumped out nicely. Quadri's not far away, and the same can be said as they settle fully into stride by Cosmetic Crown. Now, let's see who's going to lead. Is it Chainsaw Charlie or Institution? The two of them almost level to the back. Sadara third, Quadri fourth, then Conquest. Institution now goes to the lead. Star of the Seas fourth, last followed by Cosmetic Crown. Kingston Shores and Tap to It is last. Into the back they race, going along to approach the 1400 pole, and Institution clears away, leads nearly 4 lengths now on Chainsaw Charlie. About 3.5 then to Old Quadri on the outside of Sadara, 2.5 to Conquest. Star of the Seas on the favourites outside and is shading him now, followed by Cosmetic Crown, Kingston Shores and Tap to Its last. Institution racing down the back of the track and goes along towards the 1100 with a lead of only 2 lengths now, Chainsaw Charlie. Quadri's third, followed on the inside by Sadara. 2.5 lengths away next is Star of the Seas, Conquest, and neck back on the inside from Cosmetic Crown. Second last Kingston Shores, and Tap to It is still absolute as they run to the High Street side and 800. Institution, a big chestnut, a long strider. He's a length and a half on the Waterhouse prepared Chainsaw Charlie, whose rider had a significant peep over the right shoulder. Quadri another 2.5 away on the outside of Sadara, and then Star of the Seas, Conquest over on the rails to Cosmetic Crown. Second last is Tap to It, and Kingston Shores is last as they come to the corner. At the 450, Institution taken on quickly by Chainsaw Charlie. 2.5 to Sadara. Star of the Seas, Pengelly hard at work on Conquest, and then Tap to It. Institution's thrown in the towel. Sadara's race to Chainsaw Charlie from Star of the Seas. He switches out wide on Conquest, but he's about 2.5 from Sadara, and it's Sadara a couple of lengths on Conquest, whittling down the margin. The post will be too close, will it? Sadara sitting down but hangs on to win it. Sadara beat Conquest, Star of the Season, Chainsaw Charlie. Institution, Tap to It, Cosmetic Crown, Kingston Shores, and Old Quadri is a rather disappointing loss. Poor old fella.
1, 5 and 3 at Randwick. We'll leave it there so we can take this race live at Flemington. It's the Legends Jockeys race over 1,000 metres. Alfie Matthews moving in as we hand you over to Greg Miles.
David Peake comes up into his position in the stalls. 6 times a premiership rider. Jason Weaver comes up. He rode 200 winners in the UK, one of only 7 jockeys to do so. Cassius Musson is lined in, and the Legends are away and racing. Cassius Musson jumping fast on the outside with Jason Weaver, and also Elf Matthews coming out this side, and David Peake is up there as well. You wouldn't think they'd split in one of these races, but they have. And down towards the inside, Malcolm Johnston on the grey is going out very quickly. He's pushing that horse along. Going with him is Pam O'Neill on the inside, and John Reid has dropped in behind those two. But these horses out on the grandstand are coming towards the 400 metres, and they look to have the lead. Jason Weaver in the purple and Cassius Musson in the red, being chased by David Peake, and Alfie Matthews is starting to wind up in the light blue colours. Now he's coming with his run on the other side. John Reid has bolted to the lead on the inside section. Out this side, and Sky Channel's A1 Ace Matthews has raced up. John Reid on the far side. It's Alf Matthews and John Reid from Jason Weaver. John Reid the inside, and Alf Matthews come to the line, and John Reid has won it. John Reid beating Alf Matthews in the last few strides. I think Alfie might have knocked up more than the horse. Jason Weaver's run third. Cassius Musson, David Peake, and Hiroshi Kawachi in behind them with Miracle Mel Johnson and Pam O'Neill. John Reid has taken out the Emirates Airlines Legends race. Johnny Reid has won the race. A career that spanned 25 years. John rode over 1,900 winners and rode Tony Bin to victory in the Arc in 1988. He's plotted a course that came up the inside section of the track and drifted towards the outside on via Delago for Graham Woolston, and he's pegged back Alf Matthews to win by about a neck on the line. John Reid first. Alf Matthews coming from last to get second, and third place goes to Jason Weaver. So it's 3, 8 and 2. Fourth home was